Creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare. It's dangerous. They'll linger in the dark. Climb from below. Temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms. What is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God. And abyss come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. Yeah. I'll gladly give my life for my people. Can my kingdom point the way? That's a small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher the highest height. And the lower the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know what's next.
Alarms, hear the voice of God. And abyss come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen. My eyes are open, eternal morning. The crown is golden, I have been chosen.
Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind. Wake up, sundown. Creatures and gods around. Beware, prepare. It's dangerous. They'll linger in the dark. Climb from below. Temples and tombs will fall down. Explore the realms. What is meant to be, take it all. Obey, hear the voice of God. And abyss come to your sacred land. Make way to the afterlife. What was once your palace, now your grave. Awaken your soul. Dive and devour the Red Sea. Take control and drown the enemies. Across the vast wild desert, move your feet along to the rhythm of the sand. Rise and sharpen up your spear. Aim your bow, make them bow down in fear. Chaos and new beginnings. Find your destiny in the magic and the omen of the mind.
Hey, to have peace, yes, Lord, there must be strife. I already see the end of life. I accepted death, my eyes are open. I read and told them there's a light. Eternal life awaits me, yes. No one can dare deny me. Yeah. I'll gladly give my life for my people. Can my kingdom point the way? That's a small price to pay. To God to pray every day. To the promised land, I understand the higher the highest height. And the lower the lowest depths. I'm not afraid of my last breath. Life is nothing but a test. May the gods only know.
right, so introduce your name, what team you're on, the kingdom you're in, and what realm you're from.
Yeah, I'm Fish. I'm player, migration leader, and nerf lover of 1960. I'm playing in 60 GT in Anubis realm. I'm a main player and I'm playing mostly an open field focused role in the team.
Hi, my name is Night King. I'm leading BLN and I'm from 365 Kingdom of Sura.
My name is Bud, and my team is 89 VC. We're from the Kingdom 2489, and we are in Bastet realm.
Hey guys, what's going on? I go by the name Black Panther. I'm from Kingdom 2268 of Alliance SV68. I'm currently in Realm of Anubis.
Hey, we're Baby Raccoon and Choppy, leading Sobek Real Team, Galax Ltd in Kingdom 2949.
My name is Cortex, I'm the leader of SW in Kingdom 2605 in the realm of Bastet.
I'm Khan, I'm the king of K79. Our team is S79, which is a combined of all of our best players in the realm. It's not just one alliance. Our kingdom is 1079, and we are part of the oldest realm of Osiris, and we've been here from the start.
What are your initial thoughts to the new Ark of Osiris changes with Raging Sands modes being introduced?
So originally my thoughts were I wasn't sure how I was going to like it or not, but I have to say after playing several matches, I really do like it, and I think it adds a lot of tactical plans that you couldn't do when everyone could see the entire map.
I like it. I really like the graphic, and I really like the new skills. And then does the fog make it a little bit more challenging? I mean, I like the changing.
Well, I like the changes a lot. I think the fog makes stuff a lot more interesting. Strategies become a lot more unpredictable and surprise victories seem a little bit more likely in the season.
What do you want to say to your opponents?
We're coming. Winter's coming. Good luck to everybody. Hope everybody enjoys it. And I'm looking forward to meet some of these teams with a new mode.
Yeah, I better lose.
We're still a very young team, but everyone's been doing extremely well, and we have a very good group. You should not underestimate us, and we'll definitely show what we're made of this a while.
Go easy on us. Come on now. We're all friends here. But be ready for the challenges.
I want to say congratulations first off. They obviously had to work incredibly hard to get here. No one's in the top 32 that isn't a good team, even if, some bad luck before. I hope we have a good match when we play you.
To my opponents, I guess I'll just say good luck and have fun.
As you made it to playoffs, this is where it gets serious. We will do our best to perform as good as we can, and we hope you guys give us the return. Let's see some very competitive matches, show the other kingdoms what the upcoming ones can do and are capable of. Let's have a good time.
What is going on, Governors? Chiscool here, and today we're casting Ark of Osiris League. And we've got 3 casts running simultaneously today to give as much coverage as possible. So today, I'm going to be casting one match, Plato's going to be in another match, and Drago will be in yet another match. Now today, I'm going to be casting NE53 versus 84OF, and we're actually going to jump in game momentarily to showcase this gameplay footage. I'm definitely looking forward to all of the things that the interview guests were talking about, how the map has changed. There are a number of those changes that we'll point out in case you're tuning in for the first time in the new version of Osiris League, which has fog. And the fog changes everything, because when you don't have perfect information, now the gameplay is a little bit more about adapting to what's happening than it is rehearsing your script. And that's not to say that there wasn't improvisation before, but now there is so much more of it, and there is a lot more moment-by-moment decisions that need to be made that determines who wins and who loses. There's a better chance than ever that there may be an unexpected outcome, which, again, I think is really exciting. Now, I've got my eye on the clock here, because in just a few moments, the gameplay will begin, and we've got the streams on a very heavy delay, even longer than the previous week, to ensure that information is not provided that would give one team or another an advantage. And this is, of course, very difficult. We want to provide as much coverage as possible, but we also don't want to reveal information that would influence one team or another's gameplay in an uneven or unfair way. So in just a moment, we'll be jumping in game, and you'll need to bear with me for just a second. All of the casters today are solo casting, which, if you haven't ever tried to speak in front of the camera for an hour by yourself, I'll just tell you that it's a little bit more tricky to solo cast, especially when you got to run everything behind the scenes yourself. However, I've got the game pulled up on my screen, and in just a second, we'll jump into the game to show you all the action. Okay, I'm in the game now, and we're ready to switch over and spectate. Let's watch, everybody. Okay, here we are in game, and one thing that I am really hyped about is the fact that these teams are fairly even on power. In terms of votes, 40% voted for the team in blue. And if I scroll all the way up over here, you see NE53 porting in blue. 60% voted for the team in red. 84OF. I actually really like matchups like this that have the potential to be super close matchups. Because I find the action to be a good bit more exciting when it's super, super close. So I'm going to be on the lookout for some really awesome moments throughout the stream, and I hope you'll join me in identifying some of these really cool moments and hopefully some new skills deployed that we haven't seen before. Now, as you can see, I've got the visual range of both teams up on the board. Right now, all they can see is their starting zones, but the whole map is just fog. We know where these main buildings are, but that's it. Now, I really like this fog. And also, there's an additional change that I think is very good, which is the Shrine of Life has changed in its relevance. You may remember previously it gave a healing speed boost. Now it gives health and march speed. And although it is definitely nice to save on speed ups, I think we can all agree that there's a good bit more strategy for endgame players who, hopefully at this stage of the league, whether or not you have speed ups is not the issue here. The thing that matters is how well you execute. So for folks like that, the health boost and the march speed boost is suddenly a lot more strategic. The Shrine of Life is suddenly a lot more relevant, even though it does still give the same number of points per minute that it gave previously. The match here begins in 20 seconds, and we can see the Alliance's stars in the top here. 2 stars for blue, 4 stars for red. That is the number of times they've held the ziggurat at the end of KVK. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the action begins. The gates are down. Hidden sentries are beginning to be deployed. We can see one hidden sentry on the map over here by the pyramid. Looks like the team in red is trying to get vision on not really the push into the altar, but perhaps the number of people that are swinging across the middle. Kind of an interesting placement here. And I didn't catch the team in blue using a hidden sentry, which I find surprising. From my perspective, the sentries are basically a mandatory skill. Technically, that's not true, of course. You don't have to take the hidden sentry, and that gives you more strategic options as well. I just tend to really value vision. So here we go. We see the team in ready for OF moving into the battlefield and claiming their structures. Very fast entry here from red and slower entry for sure for blue. It looks like they've opted not to get the outpost with their charging forward march that's going straight to the obelisk. So the real question is, will this get them to the obelisk faster? If it doesn't get them to the obelisk faster, it wasn't worth it. And boom, they did get there at about the same time. So definitely a little bit of a miss to not go for the outposts over here, which now grant vision of the Ark of Osiris and increased visual range. Many people may not have noticed the slight increase to visual range, but also vision to the Ark can be very important. So now we see the 2 obelisks taken by red, and the blue entry is definitely slow on the right side of the map. Here is the grab on the obelisk, and boom, we're there. It does look like they are using a slightly suboptimal pair of commanders here. That was a Minamoto as the secondary. Ideally, you'd use a commander that's got more march speed. Today, that commander is Handa Tarakatsu. Super fast. Now, we can see all these red and blue lines. I would expect in this matchup the same sort of thing we've seen in the entry to Ark of Osiris matches for many years in a row, which is a push through the Shrine of War to the Desert Altar. For both sides, through the Shrine of War to the Desert Altar. And that is, of course, what's happening. They're pushing on through toward that Desert Altar, getting a peek at the marches, Hey, there's Hidden Sentry for NE53. I honestly don't know why they waited here, but they sort of lost a little bit of time on Sentry because they could have cast it at the start. It has a 0 action point cost to deploy it, so you generally want to drop that thing as fast as you can. So now these folks are moving in. Red team also going through the middle, which is very sneaky. I wonder what they're up to. They're even trying to kind of avoid the vision of the team in blue over here with this rally. So they are trying to actually sneak past the rally. And this is one of those moments where you can see the vision of the blue team, right? If I show you, right? Red team sees this. Blue team sees this. Very cool with the vision here. And let's jump back to the structures where the action is now unfolding. Combat is beginning at the altars. Let's go. Okay. Action is in. XY primaries and Joan primaries. I think it's very interesting that this team is going with the Joan primary instead of the Nevsky primary. This is something that is hotly debated. Nevsky Joan, I think, is the way to squeeze the most DPS out of that combo, and that is the best cavalry combo at this moment in Rise of Kingdoms. But the Joan does have some distinct march speed advantages, specifically hasty departure when you're in this form of KVK. So hasty departure gives you 60% march speed for a solid, I don't think it's 10 to 15 seconds when you leave a node or a structure, which is a pretty big deal. So now this battling is unfolding by the Desert Altar. Pretty good position for 84 OF by that altar. And if we get a look at the altar down here, 84 OF does seem to have the superior positioning on both of these altars, although I do wonder why their garrison captain is up in the mix here. Flavius probably should be back by the garrison. So if I were the team in blue, I would absolutely try to find that garrison captain and prioritize that. Although it's Flavius with Honda, very creative, but certainly not what I think most teams are using. I'll say that. We also see a Hera primary battling in the field. I would have expected Hera to be getting ready to garrison, not field fighting. And that's Hera YSS. That is a garrison combo. So definitely some interesting plays here from 84 OF, who, by the way, does seem to have a pretty dominant presence. Here comes a rally from NE53. Are they going to break the rally? Yes, depositing more infantry into the mix. The team in blue does, however, grab the Desert Altar. Nice play. I don't think they can hold on to it, but it's cute. You do need to hold the building for 3 minutes before you can start to accumulate points. They even took this building over here, the Shrine of Life. So really nice grabs here by NE53. The problem is they just don't have what they need to actually hold these buildings. So this likely ends up being extremely inconsequential, although I like the play, right? So in terms of what has actually happened, though, hold up. Sentry down. Sentry's over here. So this is another interesting place to take vision. They're sort of getting a peek at what's by the Shrine of Life to see if there's any Shrine of Life movement down toward the altar. Interesting sentry placement. They've got this Desert Altar now. Desert Altar in the hands of 84 OF. So NE53 is in a bit of a pickle here, and now 84 OF is actually going to crash into the obelisk. You might think I was going to say, oh, they're going to take the obelisk. I don't think they're even going to try to take the obelisk. 84F is just going for the refresh on their marches here, which, you know, a team is coordinated, as silly as this looks, when they do this little move to run their marches home because they have a game plan, and that game plan is to get to the middle. Now, I am a little surprised they didn't take a couple seconds more and just see if they couldn't do something with this obelisk, because if they had taken the obelisk, it would have been a pretty big deal. But I think that even then, you got to stick to the plan, okay? And the plan is to get to the middle. Now, I am definitely surprised to see these guys really sweeping the map in terms of building ownership. And this could interfere for sure with 84 OF's ability to get to the middle. Ooh. Look at this. Fight happening at the Shrine of War. Joan is the captain. Now, I talked about that Nevsky-Joan-Nevsky combo. Making her a garrison captain is not a part of the game plan. I think this is an improvisation here, and they happened to get the Shrine of War and happened to not have a captain. But that is otherwise not the captain that you would ideally have. They are going to get swarmed by NE53 in a second here. A lot of low red marches. And we've got 5 minutes, not even, till the arc spawns in. So really not a lot of time for NE53 to start to get control of these structures and make their way to middle. In fact, I will make the argument that in a minute and a half or so, if they're not well on their way to middle, they are well on their way to being late. And the structure flips over again, despite having a garrison captain in there. Sky Altar is now red. Guan is the captain, and unfortunately, the captain is out of the building. I think that they maybe tried to swap out their low health march to put a high health march in, so I get it. But now they take the building back. And, you know, this might not seem like a big deal, but this is super disruptive to the flow of points for NE53. You need to hold the building for 3 minutes continuously before you start accumulating those points. This is definitely a problem for NE53, and we see that reflected in the score. About half as many points for NE53 as the opposing team. And boom, clashing in the middle. This is not the fight that they wanted to take. They're backing up. Now, the funny thing is, we have to keep in mind the visual range of these teams. From the perspective of 84OF, this is all they see. So they don't know that they kind of outnumber the other team. Isn't this interesting? When we switch it around, this is interesting visual range because they're standing on the temple. So because they're standing on the temple, I think we have vision of the temple, which we normally wouldn't be able to see these guys here. So standing just outside of the visual range of the temple is actually really interesting as a strategy. I'll show that one more time. This is what red team sees. And this is what blue team sees. So 84OF standing on the temple is showing their presence here instead of standing behind the temple. Of course, now blue drops a sentry. So blue now has complete information as to what's going on over here. Okay. This is the Seth team's view, and this is the blue team is Seth's view. Got a lot of vision to what's going on here. We'll switch back to the visual range of both teams here, okay? I'm going to turn off Simplify Graphics. We can enjoy this combat in its full glory, okay? Here we go. The mid-fight. What skills are they going to use? Let's get some hype in the chat. This is exciting. The brawl is about to go down. 2 minutes left. I will argue that once you get under that 2-minute range, the engage is good. What do I mean by that? The engage is when you start the fight, and by good, I mean the fight can be concluded without the other team being able to refresh to the middle before the arc has dropped. Why is that relevant? Well, if you're winning and you beat the other team, but it's still like a minute till the arc spawns, they could still march back to middle and contest all your low health marches and take the arc. By the way, red dropping their vision over here, definitely a good play to kind of know what's up. So now both teams kind of have a complete picture as to what this fight's about to look like. So this makes a lot of sense to me. If they dropped that sentry sooner, they might have actually charged in and attacked. Yo, love to see it. Let's get that hype in the chat. Appreciate you. The stream is on a bit of a delay, so I will be responding to the chat. However, the delay is so long, but by the time you hear my response, you'll be watching something entirely different. So, this mid-fight, one player Westy, intentional? Unintentional? They trying to bait this? Are they trying to start this fight? What's going on here? Westy moves in. Hello? Oh, yeah, he's got their attention all right. Is that enough to start the fight? I feel like red has more. Dust up being activated. Blue team is starting to activate their skills, although a lot of their players still standing around in the back. Red team mostly even engaged there. Very nice. Few players in the back, but that's likely carriers. War drums and mystical activated. Now things get spicy. The mid-brawl is happening. This may be one of the highlights of the game. The mid-fight between NE53 and 84OF, the first arc of the game. Who will grab the arc in this epic battle So far, 84OF has had the lead. But all it takes is one arc to switch the tide. 84OF grabbed the arc, but then it's fallen down. They've got the arc again, it looks like. And that thing is moving. Arc is going south. Saladin Carrier. Good carry so far. Carrier's dropped. It does look like, based on the number of sad faces going each way here, that 84OF is dominating this mid-brawl, and there is not enough change of structures for the team in blue NE53 to offset the fact that they are probably not getting this arc. Carrier is moving. That's a double C with the arc. Heading down south. We'll see what building they go to. Carrier is very low and drops. Carrier down. From here, new carrier engaging. Joan Prime looking to be the carrier. Who's going to get it? Doesn't matter. There simply are not enough blue marches left here to contest this arc. Now it's a question of where will they take it? A good first arc grab by 84OF. This could cement in a little bit more of a lead, although look at that. 5,079 points. Now, so for a brief moment, the team in blue here was pushing the lead. Now they're down an arc, so they're going to have to figure out how to either assault this arc or take a bunch of buildings. I do like that they did grab both Shrines of Life. These buffs from both Shrines of Life do stack. So they've got 10% health and 10% march speed because they own both shrines, which is really nice. Swarm in on the captain is pretty cool. Very smart play here as the arc moves along. Here we go. I'm looking to see where they take this arc. It looks like they're heading toward their obelisk, which is, I think, a fine place to go. Position it by some of these cities, and you're probably very safe. Cities porting in. Arc is moving. All the way up top, Desert Altar, we've got a Hera Captain. That thing is very difficult to deal with. Very, very difficult to deal with. Honestly, if you've got the leadership gear and you've got the iconic crystals, Hera YSS is kind of the it garrison right now, although after this cavalry cycle, pro tip from your boy Chisquel Gaming over here, after this cavalry cycle, I'm anticipating an infantry fielder and an infantry garrison. Unless we get perhaps some leadership commanders, which is possible. Rally's on its way in. Tada given Ziad with Pakal. Good anti-swarm on that thing, and they're going to need it. With the amount of red marches that are here, I don't even know that the rally is going to be viable, although good sneaky swarm on this building. They might sneak this building out from underneath 84OF. Hidden Sentry gets dropped by 84OF in the bottom part of the map. And will this rally take the Desert Altar? There are two Heras here. Man, you know a team is coordinated when they've managed to get multiple garrison captains to a downfield garrison. Very impressive gameplay from 84OF as they fill the structure. That counter to the rally here is just a ton of swarming. And I don't know who's getting the better end of the deal, but what I can tell you is that as long as they're scoring points over here, 84OF is real happy. Here comes a few marches very late to the party. They decide, you know what, maybe we do something else here. They need to group up and try again. Now, good news for NE53 is that it's 1 minute rally times. So they'll have an opportunity to run another rally down here. But this is going to be difficult. When you're in this position that NE53 is in, where you're out-muscled in the field, you got to come up with some way to outmaneuver. So the real question is, do they have a way to outmaneuver? Do they have a trick up their sleeve? Some skill they're going to deploy that actually makes it happen? We'll see. For now, they're regaining control of the field, dealing with the weaker marches. They'll likely swarm this Desert Altar and try to regain control of their half of the map. The Ark, meanwhile, is sitting by the campfire of the southernmost obelisk in the map. They're chilling by a city, and I think that's a fine place to be. The most dangerous place to be is, of course, next to the obelisk. Remember, you can score the arc in a city. It's, in fact, easier to score the arc in a city because it's unlikely that the garrison will be full. So keeping the arc by the obelisk is a huge L. It's a big miss because they could actually take out the carrier and walk that thing into the obelisk if they're lucky. So keeping it by a city is, I think, a safe place to be. If you wanted to be slightly more safe, I'd possibly go by Westies City over here. You know, it's maybe a little safer all the way on the left side of the map. But yeah, it's neither here nor there. It's safe enough for now. And there's really no threat to it. And it would be very hard to mount an assault against it. And there's a number of reasons why that's the case. But let's focus in on the Sky Altar. Big push going now by 84 OF in red. Tarek Ibn Ziyad rally. Who's the secondary? It looks like it's Pakal. I can tell by the green armor on him. Yep, there it is. The Pakal icon showing up on the screen. Opting for the anti-swarm technology from the Pakal. Very difficult to swarm this rally, which means they're going to have to keep the garrison full. And in addition, there are swarmers on that garrison, which is going to make it very, very, very difficult. We can see that the team in blue, I think, is making some smart choices here, trying to swarm the swarmers and not the rally. I think swarming that rally is going to be pretty disastrous. They get that Boudica Zhuge Liang pretty low, and now it looks like... There they go. They switch it up to the XY. Yeah, they're just sort of making the rounds, okay, around the garrison here. And they are doing a great job of rotating in troops. This may be a very impressive defensive hold here. We'll see if they can make it. The garrison is shockingly low. Holding on, as they say, by the skin of their teeth. That is a thread of health, and they keep it alive. This is an impressive defensive hold from NE53. The kind of defensive hold you love to see. More reinforcements arriving for NE53 and also for 84 OF. This is not an easy hold, but the garrison's health is going up, not down. Love to see this. More troops arriving. Boom, boom. Reinforcements for 84 OF, although there is a double C. Good for moving down the field, bad for actually getting anything done. In this case, it's an infantry rally, and those are cavalry. So that troop could have been super useful, and instead it's just going to live in this resource node getting nothing done. Great defensive hold from NE53. You love to see when a team can actually pull off this kind of defense, where you barely have enough to get the job done, and then you make it happen anyways. Love to see it. More troops moving in, trying to put more pressure on this garrison. There's just not enough here to actually take this thing, but more troops are coming. Is it going to be enough? Oh, they are diverting. What are they up to? This is actually a super entertaining altar. I know we've got tunnel vision here, but I love the attack and defense that's going on here. I would love to see the outcome of this. Who is going to win? It looks like some folks are turning around, which is very interesting. I feel like I would have stuck with it a little bit here. Like a little more punch maybe gets the job done, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe they're sort of realizing, you know what? If we don't turn around and protect our Shrine of Life, it's going down, because here comes the rally. Henry rally on its way in. Henry does big damage. Garrison captain left the building. Uh-oh. Do they still have a captain in there? Yes, they do. So they've got a backup captain stationed over here in the level 1 caravan. Okay. Henry Zhuge Liang. Big swarm in on the rally. That rally's going to need reinforcements and fast if it's going to survive. We'll see if that Boudica can get into the rally or not. Although, unfortunately, I think that actually is the rally leader's Boudica, so he can't join his own rally. Big swarm, however, might get the job done. Shrine of Life reinforcement arrives in the nick of time. Big swarm taking it to red. Still a lot of pressure on this shrine. Shrine is getting low. Boom. Shrine pops. Even if they don't hold it, The point disruption is meaningful. A good grab here for NE53. 84OF looking to counter swarm. That swarm should get the job done. There's no captain here. Boom. Flips back. 2-minute timer. Okay. Overall, red looking really good with 3 altars under control, although 2 of those are under contention. They've managed to get a Harrow YSS garrison downfield yet again. Very impressive for 84OF. Garrisoning downfield. And what troop is this? It's not every day you see Greece show up. It's especially not every day you see Greece garrison show up. So why do I say that? Greece is the new civilization in Rise of Kingdoms, and it does look really cool. Those infantry units are freaking awesome looking. However, that is a rally civilization. I kind of look forward to using that civilization. I'm hoping to do some rallying this KVK. We'll see how it goes. Back to the match, however, we've got Jan Ziska in the garrison. 84OF Sky Altar, rally and swarm engaged on that garrison. Counter swarm is engaged on the rally. Big pressure here on this garrison that's getting super, super low. Another swarmer arrives. Skippy CJ with the swarm. A few reinforcements arrive for red, but they are not reinforcing the garrison. They're looking to swarm the swarmers. Now that might be all well and good, except that garrison is precipitously dropping. Good reinforcement gets into the garrison. Is it going to be enough, however? I don't know. They're swarming the swarmers. Sky Altar hanging on by a thread. Reinforcements seconds away from arriving. And it's moments like this where the extra march speed from Joan Prime as the primary looks real smart. Garrison is looking much better here with a full march arriving. More troops arriving as well to defend. Looks like Dustman is using Arabia over here. Got a cavalry rally lead in the house. Let's go. Love to see the special troops in all their glory on the map. We've also got France as the swarmer over here, using those axemen. Very distinct look on those. And the defense holds. However, 84OF is kind of sweeping the buildings here. They're kind of holding all 4 altars. That's a big deal. This is a big problem for NE53, and it looks like they're going to try to solve it by swarming out their own Sky Altar. Boom, Sky Altar flips. Okay. This situation is looking a little bit better for NE53. They need to take this Sky Altar as well. Big swarm, big damage, more cavalry arriving to participate in the swarm. Also, more troops arriving from up top. Dude, I actually love the look, even though I know this is like a minor thing that, hey, look, most of us play on simplified graphics. You wouldn't even notice it, but the Greece special unit is super cool looking. Also, Ottoman archers arriving to the house. They've got a very distinct look, and boom. All of a sudden, the altars have evened up. So there you have it. Altars are even. Shrine of Life. Under big swarm, big pressure. NE53 trying to take this thing down. But there's a lot of marches from 84OF on the counter swarm. 5 minutes and 30 seconds till Arc spawns. This is big. Can they get this Shrine of Life? I don't think so. The garrison here is holding up incredibly well. But more swarmers are adding in. So this could happen. And there is another march on its way, although it's a little bit low. Good reinforcement timing to that garrison. Garrison captain switches out now. That's the backup captain who's holding it. Will this swarm be enough pressure? Probably not, if I had to guess, but it's close. Now it's fading from striking distance, I would say. We've left the realm where I think they can get this garrison. Let's get a look around here at the Shrine of War. Big swarm in for the team in blue, NE53. Sargon's the captain. Definitely not ideal. Shrine of Order flips blue. That secures for them. 5% attack, 5% defense. Cruising on down. Oh, hold up. Hidden Sentry drops. Boom. Backfield Sentry. You love to see this. You'll love to see this, because now we're looking at the mid-fight, okay? And if we look at the range of the team in red, here's blue. Okay, Iset is in blue. Seth's in red. They have vision of what's over here. So now that they got this sentry down early, they can make a call to push early as well if they want to. But remember, if they wipe these marches too early, they'll have enough time to reset and get back to the mid-fight and recontribute to the mid-fight, which is not good. You don't want that to happen. There's another sentry that dropped. I missed the location. I think it's over here. No, I missed the location. No worries. Let's get the visual range of both teams. Okay. Oh, here it is. Here's the sentry. Cool. So both blue and red know exactly what's here. Of course, the thing I do find so interesting is this visual range for the blue team also kind of includes the temple. So temple giving vision is really interesting. Let's go back to the vision for both teams here. Here we go. What happens now? NE53 gathering. 84 OF gathering. 2 minutes, 50 seconds till arc. We get a quick look around. Desert Altar under some pressure here. Possible these swarmers could try to contest it, but it looks like defensive hold may happen. Good rally on Shrine of War. Shrine of War could flip. That's 10% of stats. 5 attack, 5 defense. Now in favor of the blue team. Okay. Blue team also holding Sky Altar. You know, what this signals to me is a little bit of a fear that I've got that blue team is undercommitted to the middle. And although they may have a building game, that's not good enough right now. They need to kind of get this arc. So this is going to be difficult. This is going to be very difficult. NE53 needs more people in the middle. Point blank. There's no way around it. I want to see more NE53 in the middle. We know that they need people in the middle for several reasons. First of all, now they lost the last mid-brawl, so if we think they look thin now, they don't have the punch probably to take the dub. Meanwhile, oh boy. Okay. They weren't actually there. That's good. I was really worried. I was like, how did they move into the middle of this ball and no one's attacking them? Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm imagining things. Attack's still going on this Shrine of War. I think the Shrine of War is going to be fine, though. Just judging by the number of marches that are here, feel like 84 OF has more bodies. And I think that's going to transition into a win for them, but I don't know. So let's see what happens. Dust Up activated. Nice choice from here. They're engaging. Now this engage is kind of weak. You've got half the team engaging and half the team standing back there. NE53 activating to the death. You've still got half the team that hasn't even started in combat yet. Meanwhile, all of red is engaged. I think there's a real opportunity here to clean up the quality of that fight initiation to get the whole team started at the same time. And it may seem silly, but yeah, 5 to 10 seconds of damage is kind of a big deal. Here we go, mid-fight unfolding. Who will win? A lot of blue sad faces, not as many red sad faces. I am afraid for NE53 that they are on their way home and that 84 OF is going to send them packing. And it does look like that's what's unfolding. Although, of course, it's a little difficult to tell. My basic addition of the number of sad faces going this way rather than the number of sad faces going that way, I think is a pretty strong indicator here that 84 OF simply has the overpowering mid-force. And I think a part of why we see that is that NE53 is committing to a lot of buildings, and that's cool, but they're going to have to hold them for a long time if they want to offset the loss of this arc. And I just don't think they're doing that. And that is, of course, going to be a problem here. Now, it could just be an issue of just pure muscle, right? It could be that 84 OF is just stronger, bigger guns, and that can get the job done. How do you deal with bigger guns? Well, you got to outmaneuver. But if the The guns also have moves, right? Like, it's difficult to deal with. So if they can maneuver and hit harder, you are in trouble. And right now, it does look like 84OF can do both of those things. So now we get to see how they transition from this arc into the next part of the match. And they are swinging around the front, going for the Desert Altar. A fine play. A fine play. Big aggression here. I really like to see this kind of pressure. What I would also like to see, I just don't know that it's possible. I mean, I just don't think that NE53 is going to be able to regroup fast enough and try to push this arc. I think the arc is going on a really safe route. I like this route. It's not too close to the outpost. It's not too close to the Desert Altar. I actually think this is a great route to the right of the ruins over here to safety. Very difficult to deal with. 84OF drops a sentry. They want vision on the Sky Altar, and vision lands them a lot of information. Look at the information they gained by putting down that sentry. They see exactly what's happening. This is big intel from that sentry. Very smart play. Really nice placement. Rally's on its way over. Henry to pressure this Shrine of Life. And I would have said, they're not going to get Shrine of Life with just a solo rally, except the garrison's already really low. Rally's hitting. Rally also getting swarmed. Another archer about to arrive. Boudica's on our way. And then the real force gets here over the course of the next 60 seconds. Timing's a little awkward, but the overwhelming force is sufficient. Here they come. Swarm is in. And that garrison is looking like a rock. Oh my goodness. Flavius, everybody. Doing work in this garrison. Wow. Okay. Now the pressure amps up. 4 swarmers. End the rally. 5 swarmers. 6 swarmers. It's too much. The garrison falls. Good capture by NE53. Now all they need is a captain. Barring that, they'll have to make an offensive move. Speaking of which, 84OF moving just outside their visual range over here. Looking to assault the Sky Altar. Now that rally is way in advance of this force, but it's not too far in advance of this force swinging around the right. Now some of these marches are pretty low, but 84OF is on their way. Here we go. Rally's in. Damage over time from Zenobia activating instantly. Love to see it. Instant proc dot, baby. There it is again. And garrison doing what it can here. You've got the Hera doing its thing. Although Xeno Hera is really not an impressive garrison for KVK, you really love to see it in Ark of Osiris. It's doing kind of exactly what you want. Surviving as long as possible. Xeno's great anti-swarm, good healing. Hey, look, healing is great in Ark of Osiris. And then the Hera shielding is cool. It's not a great combo for KVK. The reports are not as good, but here you're not in it for the report. You're in it for the hold. And these commanders are designed to survive. Sky Altar, however, under a lot of pressure. Gonna need support if they want to hold. Need more troops. 1 goes in. Not enough. Need more troops. This garrison is super low. It's dropping down to low red. They're swarming the swarmers, but it's not enough. The pressure's too high. Boom, new troop goes in. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm actually really impressed with the NE53 garrison gameplay. I love how they're doing it. And for whatever reason, 84OF pulled off the swarm. They might have had this garrison if those troops didn't pull from the swarm. I don't know where they're going and what they're doing. Now they're piling back into swarm. This gave NE53 a real window of opportunity to get another march in. Is it going to arrive? However, it does! NE53 holding on by a thread. But will it be to any relevance? I don't think so. Here comes more red marches and the garrison flips. a fun hold to watch. But at the end of the day, that building flips red, as will this Shrine of Life momentarily. And we've got a building advantage and an arc advantage in the hands of 84OF. Hera doing its thing. Nice area of effect damage. Garrison down. Definitely a bit of a bummer to see all these blue marches outside the garrison, but it still dropped. But I think that not all these marches would have been able to perhaps reinforce it. Like some of them all belong to the garrison captain, I think. Swarm is in. No captain in that garrison yet. You can see the Jan Ziska actually dancing around the garrison. He's like, hey, let me in, let me in, let me in. Please let me in. I'm the captain. Make way for the captain. He still can't get in. The captain's like, please, let me in the garrison. Okay, he gets in the garrison, and now he's captain. See? He got there eventually. Oh, man. Little stressful. Little stressful. Also stressful is a Guan captain. Swarm in, takes out the Desert Altar. This map is looking super red. Oh, my goodness. All 4 altars. Both Shrines of Life. I mean, there's the switch on the altar. Thank goodness for NE53. They definitely needed this building to flip in their favor. Downfield. Rallies in on the Sky Altar, but not enough to actually get the job done over here. Up top, Shrine of Life. Guan Captain holding on by a thread. Reinforcements arriving to swarm the garrison. It would take very little extra effort to take this garrison. Ho ho! Too late now, baby! Hera Garrison says, not in my house, you don't. That Shrine of Life is 50 seconds away from ticking for points, and with a Hera Garrison and the field presence they've got, 84OF is looking real good now. Mixed army trying to make it in. That's a Trajan Ethel. Great arc march, actually. Trajan Ethel, old school cool, man. Old school cool. Sentry lands. And it's up top. We want vision. Yes, we do. That vision is really interesting. They're basically scouting the attack lane into their own Sky Altar here. So they're seeing how aggressive they can go before they have to pull back and defend. And they're realizing, oh, hey, wait a minute. Red's not attacking. And if they're not attacking our altar, then we can attack their shrine. Now, this is something that I think not a lot of people understand, is that it's generally a bad trade to attack their altar and go, haha, we got their... Or sorry, let me say that differently. To attack the enemy team's Shrine of Life, to take it, but to lose your own altar. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, taking this Shrine of Life, but losing this altar is a bad trade from a points per minute standpoint. Now, the calculus is, again, a little bit different, because you do get health and march speed, which is pretty good. But we are only talking about 5%, you know? So, getting this scout down, see, now they have the intel. See, look. Here is what you see for blue. And here's what you see for red. And red's like, hold up, wait a minute. They're coming to attack our Sky Altar. And now, I don't know if it's a great plan to attack 2 into 3. But, hey, if your job is to defend this altar, I guess you can take the fight here. Let's get a look back on this building. Big Swarm is still going in on that Shrine of Life. Remember when I said Hera is not going to drop? Yeah, it's not going anywhere. That Hera is thriving, baby. Look at that go. If you're enjoying this matchup, drop some hype into the match. Let's get it going. And if you're enjoying this live stream, do me the honor of throwing a like on the stream and consider subscribing to the official Rise of Kingdoms channel for Ark of Osiris League casts. Here comes the pressure on the Desert Altar. Rallies in, 84OF doing their thing. Plenty of blue marches here. Big pressure. They're trying to take down this Desert Altar. Will they get it? Oh, yeah. That thing is gone. GG on the Desert Altar. Possible there's a counter swarm here, Blue's got a lot of field presence. Yep, there it is. Counter Swarm is in. Looking to take that thing back. Joan is not the ideal captain. Sometimes that's just what you got to work with. Boom. Garrison flips back. Regardless, it's good point disruption here for 84OF to inflict upon NE53. Three minutes and 55 seconds left on the Ark of Osiris hold. If they hold this the maximum amount, you're looking at about 10 minutes left in the match when they cap it. And then there's like 8.5 minutes till the Ark spawns. So it is conceivable that you could score another Ark if you had a perfect Ark grab with maximum march speed and no knockdowns of the carrier. But I think we can pretty safely say this is going to be a 2-Ark game. Well, looks like a Gatherer is deciding what they want to do here. By the way, Gathering was made way more difficult because you don't actually see the resource nodes anymore. Isn't that interesting? It's like much more difficult to just kind of score points when you can't see where the nodes are. That's for sure. Pressure in on the Sky Altar. NE53 trying to take it back. But I'll make the argument here that 84OF has a very impressive force here. That Hera YSS Garrison doing its thing, baby. They even had a backup Hera YSS Garrison in there. They switched to Xeno. They are just flexing now with 3 Garrison Captain marches in the Sky Altar. GG. Here comes more troops. Both sides trying to get it done. You can see that low health Hera popped out of there. Honestly, I'm very impressed with 84OF's forward garrisons. Really nice gameplay there, quite frankly. It's very often you'll see a team take a forward structure but not have the captain to back it up. They got the captains to back this up. Almost every time I've watched them take something. Not every time, but close. And that's really impressive. We're probably not going to see another Ark, as I was saying. So this matchup is looking really good for red. It's very difficult for blue to dig themselves out of this situation. Vision is down. Hard push activated. Is that really enough at this point? I'm not so sure. Action in on the Xeno garrison. Desert Altar. Big swarm. Gonna have a big reward in a second. They're gonna flip that garrison over. Man, I've got to say I'm really impressed with NE53's garrison skills. They do a really good job of swapping in low health marches, or out the low health marches and in the full health marches. I mean, they really hold on to these garrisons. There they did it again. It's very impressive the way that they're doing this. I don't know if you noticed this, but they are really, really good at holding these garrisons. And teams often are not good at this. They really are not. And I'm very impressed with NE53 here and their ability to swap these captains around and hold this garrison. Really great. Really impressive defensive gameplay here against immense odds. They're somehow still alive. And that, again, is a matter of swapping out your low health march, even though you can only have one in there, and bringing in a full health march. But now the captain drops. They got too low. Garrison flips over, and it's GG on the Desert Altar. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 marches in there. Shrine of Life. Under contention. Blue looking to regain control. Will they get it? Ooh, they did get Shrine of War. Turns out that vision had a payoff. That payoff is a building. Very nice. Love to see the plan come together. Here we go. Dust Up being activated. Reducing visual range. Okay. 10 minutes remaining in the matchup. Not a lot of time to get these points back. I think for NE53 to win here, They kind of need to do one of two things, okay? The two things they can do are as follows. Thing one, they take all the buildings. Okay, well, that's not happening. Thing two, they take the majority of the buildings and they get the Ark. That's probably not happening. I think 84OF is just in a really dominant position here. And I always like to ask the question, how do we win from here? Right? And you got to do what gives you a chance of getting the win, not what guarantees that you lose. And sometimes you've got a very small % chance to get the win. But what could you do to get it? And I mean, I think 84OF has really kind of shut the door on that possibility space. 84OF has done a great job attacking the buildings and taking the arcs. If I were to say what was the hallmark of this game, I think I would say 84OF just hits harder. They hit harder. They were able to get both arcs because of that, and they were able to really pressure the buildings in a way that NE53 couldn't answer. And I do think that NE53 had great garrisoning. I mean, really impressive swapping marches out, bringing in the fresh ones. P.S. Dang, those Greece infantry look cool. Sheesh. Yo, the Greek infantry looking super cool, man. Love to see it. Wow. I like it. I may be an infantry player over here, no biggie. There's the German cavalry, by the way, on their way in. Respect. Love that 5% training speed from Germany, you know. Not the best arc of Osiris League civilization, but hey, sometimes you need to be Germany, train up those troops. Having troops also helps for Arc League. Okay. Shrine flips over. Boom. What next? Both shrines under contention. Hera Garrison, back at it again, man. Back at it again with the Hera Garrison. Also, yo, we got these Vikings over here. Berserkers on their way in. France's Axemen. It's fun to look at the special units, honestly. Swarm is in. Oh, hey, yo, Guan with Leonidas. That's some old school cool right there. Not every day you get to see Guan Leo back at it in the garrison swarming situation here. I liked Leonidas, man. He was one of my favorite commanders. I do wish he had more relevance in the end game. He does not, though. It's just, we need to accept it these days that you've got better options. You truly do. Garrison flips. Downfield. Uh-oh. XY Garrison. Garrison flips. Unfortunately, there's the captain. Didn't make it in time to try to hold that garrison. Swarms in on the Sky Altar. Boudica is the captain. Not ideal. But if you use Boudica Artemisia, at least your secondary is a garrison captain, right? I wouldn't say that's the best march, however, for Ark of Osiris. You'd rather have some march speed. Boudica Zhuge Liang is the archer march to use. If you bring a second archer march, you probably use a Henry with maybe Esau. Try to get some nice AoE damage in with the march speed from the Henry. In fact, there's someone using that right over here in NE53. There it is. Henry with the Esau. Very good. Swarms in on that garrison. This time the captain's in. That'll be difficult to deal with. Although there don't seem to be as many troops for 84 this time around. Big red numbers on the screen there. Garrison flips. Yeah, I mean, Hera's good, but not invulnerable. Flipping back to the other side of the map, rally in on the obelisk. Would kind of like to see the obelisk drop just for the popcorn value of it, but I don't think that NE53 is going to let that happen anytime soon. They got to swarm in on this rally. They're filling up that garrison. They're probably going to be okay over here. Are they going to be okay over here? I don't know, actually. We got to call Alex. I mean, Man, that's a reach. Pakal is really not a great commander for Ark of Osiris, other than being the secondary for a rally, making it anti-swarm. And even then, you might make the argument that the anti-swarm is cool, but you really need damage to push through garrisons, and the speed of takedown is worth a lot. Swarm in on the garrison. Here it comes. Boom. Garrison flips. Captain's in the field. Heaven's Grace. Man, I like that ability. Heals troops wherever they are. Boom, you can see it on the screen. Look at all those heals, baby. Woo, there's a lot of heals. Heaven's Grace, everybody. You'll love to see it. So cool. So cool. Heaven's Grace. Such a good ability. Bujan in the chat. Okay. Tell me that's the actual Bujan from back in the day. Tell me it's true. If so, hope that you're doing well. If not, welcome to the stream. 19,400 to 29,900. 3 minutes left in the matchup. 54 seconds till Arc. Are they gonna... Oh, baby. Okay. This is gonna be funny. I think Red is gonna score the Arc. I actually think Red is gonna score another Arc. I think they're gonna do it. Let's see if they're able to pull this off. Blue really needed to be doing this, not Red. If Blue could do this, they still can't win, actually. But this is one of the things I said Blue would need to pull off in order to get the win. This is going to be such a closely timed grab. Oh my gosh. 10 seconds left till Arc spawns. Okay, chat. Are they going to make it? Are they going to score another Arc here? And boom, Arc is up. 2 people go for the grab. Flowers on stream. There's no way they could know that they're on stream because the delay is longer than that amount of time for sure. And they have a 2-minute walk. They could make it. If only they'd let the double C get the Arc. Double C is faster. But I think they could make it. It's going to be really close. I think they need to target the Shrine of War, and I think they score this thing. At the end of the match, with 5 seconds remaining, or less, maybe they will score this Arc. Blue team knows it, by the way. They have vision to it. They can't do anything about it. Oh, or can they? 44 seconds on the rally. They can do something about it. Okay, let's go. This is spicy. I mean, you know, the matchup is determined who's going to be the winner, but this is entertaining. 55 seconds left. They're marching to that garrison. 50 seconds to get to the garrison. And 53 seconds left in the match for the king. They know what they're doing is cool. They know it. Yeah, for the king again. They know that this is actually pretty cool. But the rally's in. Now, this march has targeted the garrison. So we know the garrison's not at max capacity. So the swarm is in. They're trying to hold this garrison. They don't actually need to defeat this rally. They just need to live for 27 seconds. I feel like they should have broke this rally and attacked this march, and it would have been easy to do. They could have taken this carrier. Instead, with seconds left, watch the score for the king. 9 seconds left in the match. And boom! Arc scored! 5 seconds left in the match. They've done it. Victory. Wow. Look, it wasn't the difference maker, but it is fun to see a last second Arc score. there you have it. NE53, the MVP with 225,000 points. The Alliance, no evil, but the victors. One team, one fight, 84 OF. Congratulations to both teams. One team, one fight does take the win. Ark of Osiris score 10,500. Occupation score also 5,000 points north of NE53. And a provision score of 1,250 north of NE53. So winning truly on all three aspects of Ark of Osiris League gameplay. They've got more total kills and fewer units healed. Wow. GG, well played by both teams. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, now's a great time to smash that subscribe button. We'll be back later today with more Ark of Osiris League for the 15 UTC matchups. You can check out my channel, Chiscool Gaming, if you're looking for guidance for Rise of Kingdoms content. Alternatively, check out the library of content here on this YouTube channel designed to help you be a better player of the game. I'll see you all at 15 UTC. Take care, everybody. See you real soon.